Life is really precious. And you know what's one of the most precious parts of life? It's your attention. And yeah, I know there's so many people that want to take your attention into so many different things, into what their thing is. I want you to know I really appreciate that you've put some of your attention toward a webinar or a group or perhaps one of the personal calls that I've been offering lately. You see, I know there's a desire in you to really want to fulfill what is inside of you, to really give your gift and to share it and to see people's lives change and to create magic. That's why we look into all these things and why there is so many offerings and programs and so on swirling around. But it can be somewhat overwhelming sometimes. The way I see it is there's only one good reason for actually investing your precious attention and time into something like a new program or a new group or whatever it is. And that would be if there's already a soul agreement and a soul connection between you and that group or person. You see, we already have these agreements, and we don't really need to learn anything new. We've already kissed lots of toads. We've already invested in lots of programs and workshops and teachers and gurus and coaches that weren't really what we hoped it would be. And maybe at best, it was really inspiring and helpful and supportive for a while. And then it went flat for you like everything else does, right? I mean, that's just the way it is. I want you to know that I understand the gap that you've been dealing with, because I've been dealing with my own gap throughout my whole life. It's the gap between who you know yourself to be and how you're actually showing up day to day. It's the gap between being a muggle and a magician, or the gap between dragging an old tired identity around with you or really living from the magnificence of who you really are and having the results of that. Now, there's really a lot of power in this gap I'm talking about. It's not really a problem. Just think about it like a cloud that gets highly charged with electricity, and there's a gap between that and the earth. It discharges lightning. Or if you have two charged objects that build up enough electrostatic charge, there's a discharge between it. So actually, there's a great deal of alchemical power in this gap that we've been struggling with throughout our life. It just takes the right method and the right support to be able to tap into that power instead of just being troubled by it. And that's something that I've been looking into for a long time. Now, in this Quantum Healing Master Course that's starting up February 2nd, we're going to be creating magic together. We're going to be generating a vortex of high-frequency light and a field of grace that allows you to lighten up your energy and your heart, to upgrade your physical body, and to accelerate your ability to create what you really want in your life. This is what's been happening in these other groups that we've been doing like this. Now, you're going to learn amazing clinical skills that allow you to produce higher level results and effectiveness with your clients or whatever it is you're doing in your life. You know, these are methods that I have helped develop over the last 40 years of studying with so many teachers, so much science and physics and spiritual practice and learning so many healing methods. And I have a gift for being able to take all that data and all those experiences and synthesize it into something that is simple and effective and that people can learn quickly. So what I'm really saying is that you'll be able to gain within 4 months a lot of what it took me 40 years to come up with. But hey, that's just the way it is. That's the times that we're living in right now. Now, through going through this process of the Master Course, you're going to gain a lot of confidence in your ability to be a master healer, to function as a master healer, as a quantum healer. So the way it works in this Quantum Healing Master Course is that you learn or gain a new method each week, and then you immediately get to practice it one-to-one with somebody else in the breakout room. And what happens is because of this, again, this vortex of light and grace that we're working with, you pop very quickly into getting it, where it's no longer like, trying on something unfamiliar. You realize you already have the ability, because I'm not going to ever give you anything you don't already have. And I'm also not interested in entering any kind of guru-disciple relationship with you or anybody else. We are in this together. We are creating this together, because that's the way it really is. It's like when two or more are gathered, when we put our energy and focus together in this field, this vortex of light, amazing things happen. And so you're going to gain that kind of confidence in whatever kind of work you're doing, and that is a great benefit. But even greater than that, beyond any method you can learn, is that you are the ultimate touchstone of healing. And you're going to be able to not only get in touch with that, but to help resolve some of your own wounding and your own things you've been carrying along that may have been very elusive to resolve for a long time. That's the way quantum healing works. But just let you know that there are so many people that have tried so many different healing methods and coaching and counseling and therapy and different spiritual practices and not having any spiritual practices and all that. And when they got into this field, into this quantum field, and really got it in their body and shared it with this other group, they just popped into getting something that was eluding them for a long, long time. And that's a really beautiful thing. There's true magic. I mean, there's such a luscious field that we swim around in every week, and yet it's very grounded. It's very practical. It's very about embodiment. It's not about just zoning out in a high-level field. It's about experiencing that high-level, beautiful field and really bringing it into your lower chakras and to grounding it to the earth and to practical manifestation. That's really the process of mastery that we're working with. And it is worth anything to have that. Now, again, like I said earlier, this may or may not be a path for you. There are certain people that there's really that soul connection with. And so if it's not that, I really bless you to really discover whatever it is that will really light up your life. But if you do feel something, if you do feel some connection, it is well worth investigating this. And one last thing I want to say is, you may be thinking something like, wow, this sounds really inspiring, really beautiful. It sounds like a really, high, wonderful experience, but how practical is it for me? I mean, I really need to do something real and practical, not just some, high experience that I go into. I want to tell you why it is practical. We're at a time of such growing destabilization in our financial systems, our political systems, and so many different things that you already know about our environmental situation. And according to astrology, according to everything we see, is that we're likely to go through increasing destabilization over the next few years. There's going to be a lot of people kind of freaking out and looking for someone that can help them stabilize themselves, or can help them ground themselves and know what to do. And so anybody who learns to really ground this quantum field in their everyday experience and to embody this field and to really learn how to hold this and hold people and help to guide them when they're going through very stressful times, you have an incredibly precious and valuable skill and resource to offer. So you might say quantum healing, even though it may seem counterintuitive, is one of the greatest growth industries of our time. So thank you for listening. I'm really sorry if my words and explanations are falling somewhat short of really conveying this experience. It's challenging to put it in words. But anyway, I'm really grateful for your time and attention. May you discover the key to opening the treasure chest of your life, whatever your path is. And if you do feel a resonance, let's connect.